morning, Mario. And good morning... Throwing you the hot dog. Good morning, Mario. And good morning, Switch fans. Today's episode is jam-packed with good news, and I'm so excited to talk to you all about it. So thank you so much for being here. Today we're discussing one of the largest canceled video games in history coming back, and possibly to Nintendo Switch. We're also talking about a legendary sequel coming to Nintendo Switch that started way back in the SNES for Nintendo, and I love this. We're also talking about a brand new video game movie that just got announced, and it's for my favorite game of all time. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. This is a fantastic episode. If it's your first time, welcome aboard. Hit that subscribe button if you want to join the most joyous train that takes you to all the stops along Nintendo news, rumors, reports, and reviews. I got you covered. Hit that like button if you enjoy the show. Let me know your take on today's topics in the comments down below. Let's kick it off with important breaking news straight from the source. Nintendo themselves, they love us, they love you, and they want you to know a new warning about the Switch. Dire conditions have caused Nintendo to need to issue this statement from their official account, and it says, if you drop the Nintendo Switch on the floor or the ground, buttons, sticks, etc. may break down, even if the Switch is not cracked. Do not drop it or hit it against a hard object. You've been warned. Nintendo felt the need to tell you today, don't drop your Switch. Don't hit your Switch, because even if that screen don't crack, the Joy-Con could end up going whack. And I just love that Nintendo looks out for us like this. Yeah. And you know who else is watching out for us? Netflix. All right, they're making a million movies. I don't know if you've seen their recent reel where they're like, look at all the big actors and actresses we have. It's Ryan Reynolds, and it's Ryan Gosling, and it's Jamie Foxx, and it's Mila Kunis, and they just have a million movies. Well, they've added one more, and it's the one that I've been waiting for. Would you kindly focus in and get ready for the Bioshock movie? Oh my goodness gracious. Brilliance is totally possible here. Of any video game, I think Bioshock just works perfectly as a spooky, ooky thriller type movie with a great twist and an awesome cast of characters. The script is written for you. All you gotta do is fill the roles and make sure it's directed to perfection. We've seen the Uncharted movie reviews and they did not turn out so well. Definitely not as good as the games, but I think Bioshock could be so much better. And Netflix, you know, they've got an up and down record, but this is one that they better nail because it is my all-time favorite. And as I'm eagerly awaiting Bioshock 4, which they subsequently tweeted that Cloud Chamber is looking for more devs to help develop the new Bioshock game. Fingers crossed that one comes to fruition soon, and fingers crossed it hits Switch. Let me know in the comments down below if there's a video game you'd love to see hit the silver screen. Now, I will let you know that Gore Verbinski of Pirates of the Caribbean fame tried to make a Bioshock movie in the late 2000s, and for some reason it fell apart. So hopefully second time's the charm, and this one turns out great. I would love that. Let's now move to something that I really love. All right, how many of you have played one of the Mario and Luigi games from Nintendo? They're really popular on the Game Boy Advance and then the DS, and Bowser's Inside Story was my favorite one because you got to go inside Bowser, and that's a journey I'd been wanting to take ever since I met Miss Frizzle. But now that series is dead because Alpha Dream is shuttered. The studio that made them is gone. And if we look backwards beyond that, we have Super Mario RPG, which came out on SNES in 1996. That was the origin point for Mario doing turn-based tactics, and I really liked that game as well as a child. Now, pushing forward, we have Paper Mario, which is kind of a spin-off of the RPG genre. The battles, though, are different, as you've seen. We're spinning around a board and doing some different stuff. Although I do like Origami King a lot, I'd love to see Mario and Luigi come back in more tried and true RPG form. And it seems like there is someone that really wants to make that happen. In a new interview, former Mario RPG director Chihiro Fujioka says that his dream is to make the sequel to Super Mario RPG. Now, Chihiro has also worked on the Mario and Luigi games over at Alpha Dream, so I think a new game would be kind of an amalgamation of everything, right? It would bring in his work on Earthbound, his work on Super Mario RPG, his work on Final Fantasy, and his work on Mario and Luigi into kind of an ultimate game that maybe could see the resurrection of both the Super Mario RPG franchise, I'm talking about you, Gino, and you, Mallow, and the Mario and Luigi RPG series, which also had amazing characters like Fawful and Cackletta. Now down to details, Fujioko's asked, were you eager to get your hands on a Mario RPG again at some point in your career? And he said, yeah, I would absolutely love to make one. Yeah, so in my career, I've been involved in a lot of games, and I would really like my final one to be another Mario RPG game if possible. Yeah, I would like to go back and create a Mario RPG, different from Mario and Luigi, where you're only controlling Mario. So this would be focused entirely on the main plumber, similar, I guess, to Paper Mario, but I totally think there's space for a more serious Mario RPG, or at least a more traditional Mario RPG that brings back some of the mechanics and awesome gameplay that we saw in these earlier franchises that has kind of eluded the Paper Marios as of late. Now this brings up another issue because Super Mario RPG ain't on Switch, right? We've got the SNES app for Nintendo Switch Online and we don't have Mallow and Geno, so make that happen and then make another game. Last March was the 25th anniversary of this game's initial release, so that would have been the perfect moment, but I would say fingers crossed that Chihiro can make Nintendo notice, and maybe they're actually working on something. It would seem silly to lose out on the Mario and Luigi franchise that was very fruitful for them. I mean, they even remade Bowser's Inside Story for 3DS, showing that that game was quite popular. So let me know in the comments down below if you believe that since Mario has done tennis on Switch, golf on Switch, soccer on Switch, 2D on Switch, 3D on Switch, Paper on Switch, is it time to go back to his RPG roots? And would you be pumped to see a new Super Mario RPG 2 finally announced 26 whole years later? I'm rooting for Chihiro. Let me spin you a tale of E3 2014, where a big, bold game was announced. A game with really big monsters. A game with dragons, in fact, in a really big world with a headphoned character who was having a ton of fun. This game was cooperative, this game was gorgeous, and this game was gonna be huge for Platinum Games and Xbox, until the exclusive was officially canceled in 2017. Scalebound had scale, but somehow it got scaly and never saw the light of day. And yet there's been so many rumors and reports that this game could come back. In fact, we had big rumors a while ago about Nintendo working with Kamiya and Platinum to revitalize this one and bring it to Switch. And now the rumor train gets even juicier because Hideki Kamiya himself is now talking about resurrecting Scalebound. He was recently promoted to vice president within Platinum, so he has quite a bit of clout. And last week he talked about how they did a lot of work on Scalebound. It's no use for Microsoft keeping the game in its current form, so we'd like to do something about it. Phil, let's do it together, referring to Phil Spencer. Well, today he was reapproached about it, and he said it's a bit strange that people are focusing on this quote since he said for a while that he'd love to bring it back. But then he went a step further, and I find this very tantalizing. Kamiya said, that's something I thought I've been saying or been trying to say for years now. I've said it in interviews before and gotten no reaction, but now finally I got a big reaction and I was glad to see it. But no, it's not a joke. I'm totally serious about it, yeah. And then Kamiya was asked if he's really in talks with Microsoft, and he had this to say. I can't confirm or deny anything, but we could be talking to Microsoft. But we could also be talking to Nintendo, Sony, Capcom, Konami, or anybody. And he did include Nintendo. And as I pointed out earlier, there were rumors that Nintendo was working with Platinum. We know they're very buddy-buddy, thanks to the Bayonetta franchise being a primary focus for the Switch platform. How great would it be to get Scalebound sneaked away from Microsoft and surprised on Switch? I think there was something there in the game. It seemed Monster Hunter-esque, it seemed Devil May Cry-esque. It was Platinum trying to be bigger and bolder. And Kamiya has admitted that it actually was Platinum totally responsible for this game falling apart. He said they were inexperienced with Unreal Engine and online features, and that is why the game was not able to come together in a releasable form or anything close to it. To add another layer, back in 2020, Phil Spencer shot down rumors of resurrecting Scalebound, so maybe Nintendo really are the ones that Kamiya wants to work with here. Look, the Switch exclusive library, it's the best of the bunch, and bringing over an exclusive that was supposed to be Xbox's feels pretty sweet. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd love to see Scalebound come back as another kind of big tentpole title adjacent to Nintendo's Mario-focused lineup, meaning more genres get more love. Bayonetta is very action-oriented, but it is linear, and Scalebound is going to be something at a larger scale, and I'd super love to see it return, especially as to what new tweaks they'd make, as Kamiya says Platinum has grown, and games like Monster Hunter World have definitely changed the scope of a title like this. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd be down to Scalebound on Nintendo Switch. So much good, and we still have the poll to go, so welcome to my segment where I see what you had to say. Our poll was focused on good, actually. They'll appear on the community tab every weekday evening, so make sure to turn your notifications on and check that community tab. It's pretty fun. Last night I asked, did you spread some love and kindness on Monday, Valentine's Day? 41% of you said, yes, I did, myself included. I shared some love with my family and my friends, and it was a really nice day. 24% said a little bit, which, hey, that's pretty good. 24% said, no, I didn't, and I challenge you, all right, no matter who's in your life, spread a little love today, or even tomorrow if you don't feel up to it, but it's really good to just move some of that energy in the positive direction to other people. And it's very true, despite sounding cliche and corny, that what you put out comes back to you. So I promise you, you give out some goodness, you will notice more goodness coming back. Trust me, take it from me. You have a bad, crummy day, and it just feels like everything's going wrong. Try to do something nice for someone else, and the good will start to turn right around. Now, 11% said you forgot, and so today is a great time to turn that around too. Thank you guys and girls so much for watching. I appreciate you giving me a platform and a voice to share my positivity and to share my love for Nintendo and to share my love for you. I do appreciate all of you so very much. Hit that like button on your way out. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, my wonderful friends, SwitchForce out.